Greetings! This year, we're going to make another quick one. You'll see everything. We're going to talk about the final Halloween film, Halloween Ends. Is it truly end? Did evil finally die tonight? I don't know. Well, just got back from watching Halloween Ends, the final chapter of Laurie and Michael since the 2018 Halloween, and then Halloween Kills last year, and then Halloween Ends this year. And how is the ending? Does Halloween end? I think Marge Simpson puts it the best.
Marge, I'm confused. Is this a happy ending or a sad ending?
It's an ending, that's enough.
Oh, God, let's get on with it. Halloween Ends, 2022, directed by David Gordon Green, written by Green, Danny McBride, etc. The sequel to Halloween Kills of last year. While everybody pretty much seemed to hate Halloween Kills, I loved it. For me personally, it was more enjoyable than 2018, and honestly, it's one of the better sequels in the Halloween franchise, period, in my opinion. So to end it on such a high note for me, there's only one way to go but down. But I'm like, no, 2018 was great. Kills was great. Ends. This is it. They're pitching. Michael versus Laurie. Only one will survive. Freddy versus Jason type stuff there. And what did we get? I'm sorry, but what the frick were they thinking with this one? Did they go, hey, remember Halloween Kills? Frick that movie. Throw it out the window, and we're just gonna do this movie. Huh? Now, don't get me wrong. I thought it was a good movie. It was good. I like where they're going with it. I liked the story, and I liked how they were doing a lot to flesh out these characters. But it didn't feel like Halloween. It was anticlimactic, if anything. But oh my gosh, I liked it. It takes place 4 years later, after what we saw in Kills, so everyone's on their own. Laurie, she's got a house, she's okay, but she's not with Frank. There's gonna be some spoilers here, but not much. She's not with Frank, and I'm like, what? That was the... They better get together at the end if they live, right? Allison gets more time. It was basically all about Laurie and Allison, which is great since they didn't get much in the last one. But she still could have done more with the others. Lindsay was hardly in this one. She survives and kills, but they did nothing with her in this one. Same thing with Deputy Frank Hawkins. You saw the end of last one, they looked like they were going to team up and do something to see if he had some involvement in taking down Michael. They didn't even see each other apparently in the last 4 years until this night. It's like, what? So, my main problem with this, Jamie Lee Curtis, great job. I liked how she's writing a novel, she's going on this. There was a lot to take in with this. In the town, I thought it was very fitting for nowadays, how they're trying to turn victims, the people who are causing the problem, into the victims. There were people in this movie that were saying she and the others were the bad people, and Michael was the victim. I'm like, this is insanity. And then it's causing conflict with them. Jamie Lee Curtis, Andy Matichak did a great job. James Jude Courtney did okay as Michael, because he was barely in it. They went the Jason route. Without too much spoilers, again, they went part 5 mixed with part 9, Goes to Hell. They should have just called this Michael Goes to Hell. It was basically that. When they're talking about Christine, they weren't joking. Now, I do like the kid they got to play Corey. I liked his storyline. It starts off, the movie opens in 2019, a year after what happened on that Halloween night with Kills, and you see him being a babysitter and stuff happens, and you're seeing him going through stuff, how people are treating him, same way with how Allison is, she bonds with him, they get a little cute romance thing going, but then everything starts turning them, and then we see Michael, and he kind of possesses him, that causes him to be like, oh, okay, so this is interesting, he's turning into this, they're going with this, and then they go nowhere with it. There's a lot of that in this movie. So I'm like, okay, did he possess him? But then they don't go anywhere with it by the end. And then Halloween Kills seemed like there was no Halloween Kills. That is my main beef with this movie. it just felt like, wow, it felt like the end of Scream 5, where when it was over, I'm like, I feel nothing. I don't feel anything. It's over. The movie ended, I'm like, whatever, that's how I felt on this one. Oh, it's over. It's an ending. Whatever. I guess. But wow, again. But what I did like was the story. There was a lot of this. It felt like like its own movie. So you're seeing what happens with Laurie, Allison, Corey going through all this, and then there's a lot of assholes in this movie that you're like, I can't wait till they die. So I was happy every time they got their comeuppance because they were little assholes. Every damn one of them, except for the dad. Poor guy. But wow, I just didn't get it. But very good job. I did like where that was kind of going. But they focused so much on this bookend, this little story, this little ending for everything. And then, oh yeah, Michael's supposed to be in this. He's in it a little bit here or there to show that, yeah, he and Corey are working together. And then he's trying to mold him into his little protege. Is what I was assuming. And then they didn't do anything with that. And then the final battle just shows up, and it's like, oh boy, here we are at the final battle. I hope it's the 2018 film with Michael versus Laurie. Was crazy good. That was more of an ending. Hell, in my opinion, Halloween Kills is the true ending. Because it lets you know all that happened, he's still out there, and he's still the boogeyman, he's still out there. Evil truly doesn't die. That would have been a good ending. A sad note, a depressing note, but this was just... So basically, yeah, that's it. I like the story. I kind of liked where they're going with this new character, what they're trying to build on. Great all around for that. But what gets me is that they went nowhere with what they were giving us and supposedly leading us on with in Halloween Kills. Remember Laurie and Hawkins? If only we knew then what we know now. I'm like, ooh, what are they going to do? They know something. They know how to stop him. They don't do any of that. That doesn't even matter. Hawkins doesn't do shit. He doesn't even stop Michael. And in that last movie, I'm going to get him. Evil dies tonight. We're going to get this guy. I'm going to be the one to do it. Nothing. He didn't do anything. I know it's supposed to be Laurie does it. But why did you have him with her and say this stuff and then even do anything? There was no team up. He didn't do a damn thing. It was just her. Hell, technically, Allison didn't even do anything. She's just kind of like, here I am, out of nowhere. And the whole, like, there was so much. We don't see much of Sheriff Barker. I mean, the ending of Kills had, like, showing him and all these other people in the town how they reacted to it and the mayhem that happened. What are they going to do? How are they going to finally end this? He was just there for the send-off for Michael, basically. His send-off, which was like, oh, I get it. They were hinting at shots of this certain thing throughout the movie. That's how they're going to do it. Oh, meh. From the last movie, they were building up on stuff, and they went nowhere with it. Remember Michael constantly wanted to go to his house? The house wasn't in this movie. He didn't go to the house. He didn't stare out the window. Why was he staring out the window? They didn't explain any of it. None of it. And then you saw how much of a beast he was. They get him at the end of Kills, but then he rises up like some supernatural demonic god and slaughters everyone. Guess how he is in this one? He's a frail old man that hides in a sewer. He hides in the sewer. He's weak as hell and everything. And then you're like, okay, so is it because for 4 years he wasn't able to gain any power from, because there's a scene where he's getting someone and he's getting stronger. I'm like, oh, okay, so Corey's helping him to get stronger for his big finale. And they went nowhere with it. They didn't even explain him getting strength, why he was weak, why he possessed him. What was the whole point of... There was no explanations, and nobody saw this. Only Laurie with the hint, knowing that he turned dark, and something got to him. But they don't know for sure if it was Michael that got to him. Michael possessed him or whatever. So no one knows that that's what he can do. But that's what gets me the most. So you're telling me, well, it's because it's 4 years he was in hiding. And he was getting weaker. He was locked up for 40 years. He should have been nothing by then. So 40 years of doing nothing doesn't weaken him. But 4 years turned him into this shriveled old man in a sewer hiding away. He was barely in the movie. And then he gets bitch slapped around, and then the ending comes for the big final battle. It lasts a minute and a half. He does a few things here and there, but then he gets his ass handed to him, and it's like, he didn't do anything. This is not the same Michael we saw in the last film. You knew he was going to get his end. Laurie and them were going to win, but this was pathetic. H2O did it better. I don't know. This is what got me. I liked where the story went. It was character-driven, story-driven. I really liked that. But as its own film, as a Halloween ending to what they were doing for these 3 films, there was no need for 3 films, and this is how they ended it. Again, I'm glad that a lot of these, the radio guy deserved it, the little bastard punk kids deserved it, all those people deserve their comeuppance. And you felt for these characters. You felt for Corey. You felt for all this stuff. But as I said, those main things that happened in that last film, no house, no window, no what we know now, what we do then, none of them team up to do anything. Him doing anything, period. And Michael, being this unstoppable kill machine, 4 years later turned into this frail old man that got his ass handed to him. That made no sense. Did people really get upset with how brutal Kills was and then decide, let's tone it down? Because it was pretty toned down in this one. Very sadly disappointed in this movie. The first one, really good. Kills, loved it. Still an all-time favorite. It's in my tops. I'd say out of the films ranking, it's got to be in the top 5. It was great. I don't care what anyone says. Speaking of that, I don't want to hear anybody giving shit about Halloween Kills after they see this one. It was good on so many levels, but as a Halloween Michael Myers film, and an ending to that, it failed miserably. I liked the ending. It was a happy ending. But it was anticlimactic, underwhelming. This was not the match of the century. This was not even close. Freddy vs. Jason was better. Alien vs. Predator had better versus each other. That was the weakest, saddest little Michael vs. Laurie ending I've ever seen. Again, 2018 did it much better. Very, very underwhelming. So, for me, does it deserve the touch of death? No. Maybe I need to see it again. But compared to what they did for the last one, and then how it resulted into this, I don't know what they were doing. I was lost. It was like it's its whole new thing. But let me know what you think. Halloween ends. Is it finally over? God, I hope so. Honestly, I would love to see them bring back Danielle Harris, maybe, or something, as Jamie Lloyd to do the next Halloween and finally give us what they wanted to do from ending of 4, with her as a killer, have that be a passing the torch, passing on the legacy. That could be an interesting one. I'm all down for that. But no more Laurie and Michael. They started it, I like where they're going, and then this ending. At least Kills gave us a look-alike, homage, nice little Donald Pleasance, Sam Loomis type of thing. This was like, why? Wow. We were all just kind of like, no, but there was more enjoyment seeing Terrifier 2 in theaters than it was from the people in the crowd. Than there was. It was silent throughout, and at the end, everyone just left, and there was no talking. That was new. So yes, wow, it's an ending. Not a good one. Halloween Kills the better of the films, in my opinion. But I'll see you next time. Boy, what a way to kind of... Wow, this is not a good way to end the Halloween series. To me, this is like Resurrection and the second Rob Zombie film all over again. Oh my gosh. See you next time. Like and subscribe. I'm the Group Reviewer. Ta-ta. It's a Halloween miracle. I get the pumpkin buoys. Great pumpkins, right?